Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to this small segment about Resilience Energy, a bit of an update on where we are as a company, what's happening right this moment with our raise, where we're out for investment on the Angel Investment Network, and where we hope to be by the end of the year. I'm going to introduce you to Loic Hares, who I'm sure you've met before on these chats. Founder CEO of Resilience Energy, who is in a much better position than me to tell you exactly where the company is and to get excited about where we're going to end up at the end of the year. So I'm going to hand you over now and speak to you in a moment.
So thanks, Jane. I think, as Jane mentioned, Resilience Energy Technology is one of the growing number of startups in the UK that is looking to kind of enable the change towards the net zero carbon future. We've been around for 2 years now. It's literally 2 years this month. So
is it?
Yeah, it's weird to think that, but we've been working together for 2 years now. So
that's amazing.
And we've just launched a follow-on investment round, and we thought we'd take this opportunity to reach out to everybody and just give an update on where we are, what we've done, and what we're all about. So I am the founder and CEO of Resilience Energy Technology. I have a background. I've always worked in the energy industry. Started on the distribution side. As in the wires and cables to bring the power to your homes, and
the practical bit we can all understand.
Yeah, absolutely. The transformers and the wires and the overhead cables and all of those good things. I also worked on the energy retail side of things, which is the bills you receive at your home for the electricity you've used in a month. So I've worked for EDF Energy, Centrica, and in 2014 I started working for small energy startups in the energy industry. So in 2014 there was about 8 energy retail companies, mainly dominated by the big 6. And since 2014, we've seen up to 60 energy supply companies come into the market and compete for your energy custom. Some of which have recently gone bust, but there's still a good few number of competitive energy retailers out there. And I helped bring 4 of those energy retail companies into the market. One thing that bringing those energy retail companies into the market taught me is that unlike other industries where you see a huge amount of change, like mobile phones and telecommunications, or banking, we've seen massive changes over the last 5 years. In the energy industry, there is absolutely no innovation or no real change. Even when you look at companies like Bulb Energy, who are our latest, massive unicorns in the UK.
They went huge very quickly, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. When you look at them, they've got an absolutely fantastic brand and really, really good customer service. But are they doing anything massively different in the industry? I don't think so. And at the time, some of my friends were starting companies such as Pivot Power, which is a grid scale battery company, and they were looking to do really clever and cool things at massive, huge battery levels. And I started wondering, why can't we be doing the same thing and bringing more renewable energy into our world, the UK, by using some of the same revenue streams and commercial contracts that these guys are using at a massive scale, down at a residential scale.
And that's domestic, you and me would get to benefit from it.
Absolutely. For me, the people who need help the most in the industry are the domestic users. There's still a huge amount of people in UK that are living on the as fuel poor, registered fuel poor, which they're making decisions between feeding their families and heating their homes. Now, these are the people who should be benefiting from renewable energy. So we started developing Resilience Energy Technology, which was a platform to connect systems which include solar panels and batteries but also can be increased to include electric vehicle chargers and electric heating. And the platform does two things. The first of which is that we've developed an advanced algorithm which learns the consumption behavior of the house, community, or site. So we know when you need power. The second thing it does is that we forecast how much generation you'll be generating on a day ahead basis. So, how sunny is it going to be tomorrow? Therefore, how much electricity your solar panels will be generating. Once we know when you need the power and when you'll be generating the power, we can better set when your battery should be storing that power. And by doing so, we boost your savings from around 60%, which is the standard amount of savings you get from a solar plus battery system, up to around 80%, which is the kind of savings we obtain through our platform.
Just huge.
It's a real important difference. And it's not only 80% savings, you're reducing how much you import into your house by 80%. So you're basically reducing your carbon footprint generated by electricity by up to 80% as well. And that's something that we measure and we record and we show on the platform, and that's really important to us. That's really the driver behind the business case for renewable energies. If you sit down and try and calculate if it's worth putting solar panels on a battery in your home, if you're getting 80% savings, it's always going to come out as yes, it's worth doing. So that's where we want to be first of all. The second thing the platform does is that we have the ability to add together all of the battery storage systems that we have connected to the platform, because on its own, one battery, we can't really do much with. But, when you're looking at 100, 200, 300 batteries all together, we're coming up to, it equates to a really big battery. And we can use that big battery to help, GB Limited reach its net zero targets. How do we do that? Well, on a day-by-day basis, National Grid needs to make sure that what goes into the electricity grid in terms of generation equals exactly what goes out of the grid in terms of demand. So how much electricity we use on a day-by-day basis. Now, that might seem easy. It might not seem easy, but it's actually incredibly difficult because a lot of our electricity generation is carried out by wind generation, solar generation, and as you can guess, we might be able to forecast how much wind there might be, but as you and I know, we look at the Met Office app to see if it's going to be sunny tomorrow, and it's
not very accurate.
It's not very accurate.
No.
National Grid uses much more accurate weather data, but it's still, a difference between 22 mile an hour wind and 21 mile an hour wind can make a massive difference in terms of generation.
I guess you must have an issue with lots of disparate small sources as well, and I can imagine that's a nightmare to get those all harmonized.
Absolutely. The grid as a whole doesn't fully know about all of the generation and sites across it. Some people don't register them, so they might not know that there's a 10 kilowatt hour peak solar plant on a business here or there, and so it's really difficult to match that power going in with the power going out of the grid. So they have services which is called the balancing mechanism, where every half hour of the day they look to see whether it's in balance, and if it's not, whether they need to take off or put in extra power. So if they need to take off or put in extra power, batteries are absolutely fantastic at that, because you can just flick a switch and they either charge or discharge, and National Grid love batteries to be able to help them balance the grid. So
they're a backup energy source, right? That's the whole point of a battery.
Absolutely. It's they're brilliant for that. And you can imagine that an air source heat pump can also be used for that. So if we need to take off power from the grid, we can turn the air source heat pump up, preheat somebody's home for an hour before they need it, and we get paid to do so, and the householder just gets their heat an hour earlier than what they wanted. So there's lots of different sources and different ways of doing this, and that's exactly what our platform does. Is it enables us to access those big contracts with National Grid but for residential users by aggregating together all of those distributed energy sources into one lump big battery.
A term people might have heard, is it virtual power station? Is that the term that people use? Is that the same thing?
So virtual power plants, yes.
Virtual power plant, yeah.
So it's it's the same as a big gas-fired power plant being connected to the grid, but instead it's completely distributed across people's homes across the country. And so that by connecting to our platform, we first optimize your system and give you more savings, and then we actually monetize your system and give you some money. So every quarter we'll send you a check for using your battery to help the grid balance itself. So you get paid and you get more savings, but also on a bigger picture, by adding more flexibility to the grid, National Grid is actually able to allow more renewable energy to be added to the grid at a higher level. So you might be allowing more solar farms or more wind turbines to be added because National Grid know that they've got all of these batteries distributed across people's homes to be able to help balance the grid on a half-hour basis. So, we're helping by helping people get renewable energy into their homes. Those people are not only decreasing their carbon footprint, they're also enabling everybody else in the UK to benefit by allowing more renewable energy to be connected at the grid level.
Because they build in, hence the name resilience, obviously.
Absolutely, that is exactly where the name's come. We're adding resilience to
the name.
But we thought it was very witty and clever at the time. Yeah. That's where the platform is. We spent the last 2 years developing the platform. We've connected it into people's homes, so it's managing people's battery systems today.
Which is an amazing thing. I mean, we've been working together, I think, since the beginning, and changes happen all the time. But that's a really big step.
Yes, and another big step we took was last year at the start of the pandemic. We were really fortunate enough to be accepted onto the Bethnal Green Ventures Tech for Good Accelerator, and the Tech for Good Accelerator kind of makes you look at your business and your business concept from ground zero up, but with a kind of view on, it has to make sense in terms of profitability, but it also has to put sustainability and doing good as a
Tech for Good. So to tick that box.
Yeah. So we had to change our memorandum of our company kind of memorandums to reflect the fact that we've got a sustainability goal within our actual company records. And it's made us look at exactly everything from ground zero up. And at that point last year, we made the decision to do a slight pivot to enable our platform to be used by large businesses, such as social housing providers, local authorities, renewable energy installers, so that we're not selling to the end users. We became a B2B2C software company, which we then started a whole huge amount of development on our platform to enable the white label solution, so that companies are able to market themselves as having the ability to do exactly what we just talked about, so optimize and monetize systems, but under their own brands. So you might not even realize that those companies are using our platform, but they're offering the services and they're going through us. And it means that we've managed to very quickly get a huge amount of users to be signed up to the platform. So this year we're getting up to 500 houses connected to the platform, and that is through 4 contracts we signed last October. So very small amount of contracts we're signing with businesses, and they go out and sell the systems into directly to consumers, but also to people like council house providers and local authorities. So
I know that's something that's very important to you personally and as a company, is to be able to really address the fuel poverty issue.
Yeah, it's a really tricky concept to sell renewable energy into social, into social tenants, because the local authorities and councils, although they are looking to do the best for their tenants, it's a huge amount of investment, but
Yeah.
solar panels and batteries into their tenants' homes. And under the current feed-in tariff rules around the Smart Export Guarantee, there's no actual way for the asset owners, the councils, to get any money back from any energy exported into the grid. However, if they use our platform, we can generate some revenue via the batteries, and we've got other mechanisms in order to make it work for them. So suddenly, they're able to firstly tick the carbon reduction box.
Yeah.
They're reducing the carbon footprint of their tenants. They're reducing they're reaching their CSR goals as a corporate entity.
Yeah.
But also they're enabling a 30 to 40% reduction in their tenants' bills, which is helping reduce fuel poverty, and they're also enabling their tenants to benefit from renewable energy as well. So, which is something that they just wouldn't be able to have access to normally.
It makes for a much different business case. One you can imagine people approving rather than not.
Yeah, so we're through one of our white label customers, ASON Energy. We're now working with councils, with the Wrekin Housing Group, which is a social housing provider, and Denbighshire County Council.
Yeah.
And we're looking to use those as pilot or case studies to really help ASON be able to market our solution right across the country.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's been a massive change to our platform.
Yeah.
But it's also a change which is really helping us move in the right direction. On the other side of things, we've also signed some contracts with some renewable energy installers, and those are the guys who are the guys marketing direct to consumers, so people with houses. And traditionally, they've only been able to sell solar panels or solar panels plus batteries. So, and the maximum savings their customers would be able to get is about 60% based on that. And that sometimes it's quite hard to sell that concept to a homeowner.
It takes a long time, doesn't it?
Yeah, it takes a long time, and also the commercials are it makes sense, but it's right on a knife edge because savings aren't huge. I think, but by enabling these renewable energy installers to use our platform as a white label, they're now able to sit down with their customers and say, you can have a solar panel, you can have batteries, we boost your savings to 80%, and we give you a revenue stream by using your battery. And suddenly it's a bit of a no-brainer for that end consumer.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also, we're giving the renewable energy installers a cut of the revenue which is coming through the platform.
Ongoing.
We totally believe in the kind of you grow, we grow business model of business. So and these renewable energy installers who normally have quite a lumpy income stream, because when they're able to sign up installs, they're great, they've got lots of revenue coming in. But when it's over the winter period, sometimes they can have periods where people aren't really thinking about putting solar panels and batteries in, and so we're actually giving them access to a recurring income every quarter, non-dependent of weather or economic times, and it's something they're really interested in, and that's going to motivate them.
Blame them.
Motivate them to sell our platform more and more and more to more homeowners, which is in the end good for us. We get to grow as well. Yeah. So we've had some really good 6 months signing these white label customers up. The next 6 to 10 months for us is let's get all of these projects on our platform. So they're busy being installed as we speak. So we need to make sure that they connect to the platform as they should, and then we start running them and creating revenue for them. The other thing we want to do as a company is we need to develop our internal processes to connect directly into the balancing mechanism, and that's something which will completely set us apart from every other provider on the market. Wow. That's going to take some investment as well, and that's why we're raising the investment as we speak. So we're out on the Angel Investment Network currently, which gives us access to lots of business angels, which is brilliant. We're in conversations with lots of different business angels at the moment, and we're really looking for angel investors who are able to not only invest in us, but also believe in what we do to the extent that they could possibly help us get to reach our goals. So last year we took on some investment from Optimize Energy Group,
Yeah.
We now have one of their, the CEO of Optimize now sits on our board, Miguel. And Miguel is out in Iberia at the moment, in Portugal, due to lockdown and coronavirus. But he's used the last 12 months to try and sell our platform into the Iberian market. So he's
Fantastic.
included the platform in about £150 million worth of innovation projects out in Iberia. So that's the kind of investors we need to help us kind of grow and reach our goals. So
Passion, skills, and
yeah,
application.
because we don't know everything we need help and we need experienced help. So people like Miguel
People open doors, don't they, as well? People bring with them what they bring with them, and ideas that you may not have had, or applications that you might not necessarily have thought of or thought possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's brilliant.
So busy times, but really exciting times.
Very busy times.
2021 is going to be a great year for Resilience Energy technology, and hopefully we can close this investment round relatively quickly and get on to developing the things we need to succeed as a business. So that's where we're focused and working hard to ensure we achieve.
If anyone watching is interested, as far as I know, anyone can apply to be an angel investor. I think minimum investment of £10,000. Is that right?
Yeah, and we'll
be on the platform basically. And
we're also EIS what's the word? Pre-accredited EIS. So there is a government tax relief scheme for business angels. We've gone through our whole SEIS allocation, but there's £4 million. I think you can raise up to £4 million of EIS investment. So you get great tax breaks on any investment you make through the EIS scheme.
Mm-hmm.
It also protects if the worst came to the worst and we went under as a startup, which many do, it protects to a certain extent your investment. So the SEIS scheme is a great scheme to invest in the UK.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, I'm enthused. It's really, really amazing to see so many great things happening. It must be things changing shape and building and growing. Yeah. It's such an exciting time.
I think it is, yeah. We've just seen Piccolo, which is another platform in the energy industry, close around yesterday of £4.7 million. Yeah. Led by Mott MacDonald. And, if people like Mott MacDonald are seeing these kind of energy platforms as a good thing to invest in, then I think that we're entering into a really interesting time in the energy industry.
Absolutely. And I think we end it there on that fantastic positive note.
Sounds like
your funding round.
Thank you.
Keep us updated.
Yeah, we will do.
People updated with how it goes. Any questions, get in touch. And fingers crossed, we'll let you know how it goes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lyric.